Good morning, welcome to Planet Mojo. Today I'm going to be doing another big cleanup and reorganizing in the tiny house, but this one has a difference. One of the big differences is I'll be working in an air-conditioned space. It is incredibly humid out. You can see the humidity on the ridges going off into the distance. Incredibly humid. But beyond that, well, look at this. This is painted and wet sanded. It's going to get another couple coats. It will be black like this. It's going to look really sharp. This is getting painted white, and then we have another molding going on like that. It's going to look incredible, but the big difference is everything is coming off the floor. I don't want anything on the floor. So what I'm going to do is make some temporary shelves on this side and right in here. I think it all depends on what scrap material I can find. I'm going to take either boards or pieces of the old siding, rip it into shelves, and then just have 2x4s coming out. All I'm going to do is throw 2 screws in each one, put my shelves on there, put a couple screws to hold the shelf in place, and get everything off the floor. I won't be able to get the compressor and the vacuum off the floor, but I should be able to get almost everything else, or everything else. The reason I need to do that, well, for one thing, it'll be a lot easier to work in here, but for another, I'm going to be doing all of the wiring, and the vast majority of wiring happens down low, and I don't want to move this stuff every time I want to pull a wire. And also, we're going to be putting the service entrance in place. I'm going to be bending some conduit. That's going to be pretty interesting as well. The conduit is actually going to go through the wall and down into the ground right outside out here. That'll be in a different video. That's going to be pretty darn interesting. But for now, I just need to get this place cleaned up and ready to go, and the next video will be taking out this back wall. So I'm going to try to make this video as short as possible. I'm going to go around and collect up anything that I can use for shelves and then figure out what I need for the brackets. I'll get all that stuff cut and then meet you back here when we're putting the shelves up. Alright, I have 3 wider shelves of various lengths and 2 of these narrow shelves, which are going to be perfect for some of these boxes of hardware and stuff. So what I'm thinking, the compressor has to stay here. There's an opening in the floor right there, and the compressor is plugged in underneath the floor there. So the compressor has to stay there until I get into this corner, and I'll move it at that time. So what I'm thinking is maybe I'll get 2 of these wide shelves over here and try to get these boxes, these tool boxes. We got 1, 2, 3 tool boxes. I could probably fit more on there. I have angle brackets for the wide shelves to give them a little bit more support. So let's just get the biggest one here, this one, get that one installed, right about here somewhere, and then we'll go from there. Okay, 2 down, 3 to go. I could still get a lot of stuff on these shelves, but it's a start. I got to get that other skinny shelf up here and get a lot of the tools on that. That'll clear up some space, especially right here, so I can get some of this bulky stuff on there. I guess no matter what, I'm going to have to move stuff from one side to the other, at least a bit. The vacuum cleaner, I got a couple ladders in here. I got the light and some of this stuff that's leaning up against the wall in these cubbies. I don't know if I'll be able to get it on a shelf or not. I'm going to get as much on shelves as possible, so I have to do the least amount of work as possible, because I have a ton of work to do with this back wall and getting this wired, and I don't want to have a whole bunch of stuff to move around while I'm doing it. Okay, so I'm thinking, gotta watch out for this hole. This shelf right here, this last big one, can probably go right here, and then my skinny shelf right in line with that one if it'll fit. Let me get these two in place, and then I'll get back to you once that's done. Well, I got 4 of the 5 shelves up and got a lot of stuff up on there and got it a little bit cleaner down there, but I still have a good amount of stuff to do. I don't have all that much left that I gotta do. I gotta do some sweeping, get some stuff off the walls, put that last shelf up, but it's real late and it's getting dark, and the light is getting pretty lousy in here, so I'm going to wrap this up tomorrow morning. I will see you then. Okay, it's the next day. Got a little more light now. It was actually getting ready to storm and getting dark out last night, so it got pretty dark in here. Okay, I've made an executive decision. I'm going to put this stepladder outside. I'm going to bring the light back to the shop. I'm going to take the toilet and bring that back to the shop as well. So that doesn't leave a whole lot of stuff left to do. I'll move the garbage, get the floor swept up. This ladder needs to stay here. The vacuum needs to stay here. Just a few more things need to stay here. And like I said, the rest of it I'll bring over to the shop. So I'm going to get this done real quick, move all that stuff, and then we'll get back and finish up this stuff. Oh, and I still need to put up that last shelf, and I'm going to do that right here. Okay, I jumped ahead and got the rest of this done. There's more stuff here than I would like to be here, but it's not going to be hard to move. All of this other stuff was on the floor, and now it's up and out of the way. I need to get at this area right here, which I believe is 14 inches off the ground, which is right above the boxes. So that's going to be right about here. I can get at that pretty easy. Once I get this wired, I'm going to take all the stuff off of this wall, and we're going to get this insulated. Then the majority of this stuff can go back on. I can still put screws right into it. Well, some of them can actually just stay there. And then we'll get that wall done. I need to get this insulated and wired. But before I can do a lot of that stuff, I need to get this back wall out. Once the back wall's out, I'm going to take 2 panels out, do the reframing, which is this right here. These gray ones are the existing studs. So right here, I'm just adding a stud to the side of this. It's going to be on the flat, and it's going to be connected to the OSB that's on the other side of it. And then eventually the wall for the addition is going to be bolted right through that. And we got a door frame here, and this right here all needs to be put in. I believe, where is that? It's right here. So this is going to be open to the elements for a few days or so. So I need to cover this with plastic when I don't have OSB covering it. It's going to be really interesting, and all of this stuff has to come out, kind of. I'm going to take these out, and then I'm going to reconnect this feeder wire to the actual panel. Once I have the OSB on the outside here, I can attach the service entrance permanently, and I'll temporarily hook this wire up to the service panel. I'll hook it up to one leg of it, and we'll have electricity again, including the outlets that are on this wall, or the outlets that are in this entire lower area. I can actually wire everything up, and that's what I'll do. Some of it may not have power because, like I said, I'm only hooking up one leg, so it'll only have half of the breakers, and it's only going to have 20 amps coming to it until we pull the service entrance wire, which is going to be a little bit in the future. We got some digging to do and a lot of other stuff, but this back wall is going to be very interesting. Only thing I got left to do, I'm going to cut a little OSB cover for this so I don't fall through this while I get the wiring done. And I got a bit of junk that I tossed out of here while I was cleaning, but for all intents and purposes, we are ready to remove the back wall. So if you want to see that, make sure you subscribe and click on the update icon. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you put them in the comment section below. And if you share the video and or give it a like, it helps the channel out greatly. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.